In Judaism, remembering is very important. We have a special tefillah called Yizkor, to remember the previous generations who have passed on. We often say, Zeicher li'etziat Mitzrayim, remembering the exodus out of Egypt. A number of our rituals and our practices are there to remind us of the exodus. But the truth is that remembering only applies to something that can be forgotten. If something is clear, if something is in our consciousness all the time, it doesn't need to be remembered. We see this in a verse in this week's Torah portion. God says, I will remember the covenant that I made with your forefather Jacob, and the covenant that I made with Isaac, and the covenant that I made with Abraham. And the commentators point out that in that particular verse, it says remembrance, the term, in context of Jacob and Abraham, but not in the context of Isaac. Why? And they explain because God says that the ashes of Yitzchak on the Akedah, that he was sacrificed, although he wasn't actually, the ram was instead of him, but it was considered as if he was sacrificed. God says his ashes lie in front of me all the time. I'm conscious of Isaac's sacrifice all the time, and therefore I don't need to remember him because it's clear, it's front of mind. It's in my consciousness all the time. We're living through challenging times, and the world quickly forgets. The world forgets what evil looks like. The world forgets what happened on Simchas Torah on the 7th of October. It's our obligation to keep on reminding them and reminding them that they should remember what took place. But for ourselves, we don't need to be reminded. The ashes of the IDF soldiers who have lost their lives, the ashes of the citizens of Israel who were murdered brutally on the 7th of October is clear in our minds. We'll never forget that. We don't need to be reminded of that. It's our obligation to keep on reminding the world of how we have a right to live in our land, to be protected and safe, and how we have the obligation, together with the rest of the world, to remove all evil from our midst. Please God, we should come. Hashem should remember the covenants that he made with our forefathers and bring us better times of peace, tranquility, and good for Am Yisrael, for Eretz Yisrael, and the whole world. Shabbat Shalom.